I don't, usually when you go to a town, it's like, oh, hey, newcomer, you're welcome. So usually the new person's always, the coolest because he's new, even in school. But when I come to Portland and I get jumped, get all my money stolen to where I'm stranded and I'm like on the edge of a brick, I don't know who to call, who to talk to, I'm stuck in Portland because I have no phone, middle of nowhere, and there's thieves running around, breaking things, and people are running around stealing my stuff. People are hurting me, putting their hands on me, throwing me down. It just gets a little bit traumatizing, but I've been trying to just coach and, hopefully just living. I'm living on prayers, so I just, I talk to my daddy, my loved ones at home, My mom was in a wheelchair, and I talked to my oldest sister, Kimmy, and her baby dolls. And I just kind of update with them. I'm like, hey, I love you guys. And I call them from time to time. And I'm telling them I'm alone up here in Portland, And it's like, who do I trust? Because, since I've been in Portland, I trust somebody and then they just get over on me or they try to rob me or they try to take me for a run or take advantage or get an upper hand on me or something because they think that, they're smarter or this and that. I don't know why everybody's judgmental here, but I'm just trying to live my life and be happy and deal with this crap, the wild allegations kind of sending people of the state of Portland, and I'm not used to the fast life. I was doing all right before I came up here. I was trying to get away from a violent guy that was being really abusive because this girl came in the room and she was completely naked, and we go way back, friends. Anyway, she comes in the room naked. Pounding him on the back, and he turns around and said, "Isn't it funny my girl's naked? Isn't that cool?" And I was like, "Oh no, as a friend, please put a blanket around her and take her back in the room, talk to her. I'm getting out." And he's all, "What? My house?" And then I ended up getting hit in the back of my head with the guitar. I had staples, so I had moved up here, and I was gonna testify against the guy, and everything was going. I thought it was going all right until I came down here, and one after another, just incident after incident. So I was a little bit psychotic because people kept abusing me, throwing me down, stealing my money, abusing me, taking everything I had to where I had nothing. But right now, I'm just living on faith, and I pray. I say my prayers at night, and I'm staying with a gal and her mom. And I kind of fell in love with the gal that I'm with right now. We're getting pretty close, but she's just a little bit concerned about me. And right now, it's just, I believe in justice. It's not very cool to put your hand on somebody and hurt somebody and keep hurting them and think you're doing the right thing when no one even knows what the matter is. But anyway, right now I'm just trying to live my life and be happy. And like this morning I turn on the radio and I'm like, yeah, blah 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 blah, oh Rudy. But I'm just trying to live my life, trying to be happy. But here's the phone back to her.
Benjamin, before you hang up, do you have a minute?
All right, yeah, go ahead and talk.
Mary called me because she thinks you might, might be able to benefit from having a civil lawyer. It's not like you got a lawyer helping you defend the charges against you, but Mary thinks that maybe you benefit by having a lawyer to see if you have any kind of civil suit against anybody. Is that something you're interested in pursuing or not?
Oh yeah. I believe in justice, but I mean, what's the finances? I don't get disability. I can get money. I got rich people in my family, but I'm not going to call my family. I've always been independent, but I believe that I think there should be justice against. I had some people take me in. My sister wired me money from the state of Oregon, or from the state of Shelton on the internet. She wired me some money while I was in the internet picking it up. And the three guys that were in there like, "Come on, hurry up!" And I was like, "Well, let me see what I'm renting first." I went back. They wrote me a bill of sale. $300 for my rent, and then I cleaned their whole house, and then I went to take a shower to get ready to get out and go do some shopping. Well, my wallet was taken out of my pocket, so I went and I said, "Well, I just want to ask who took my wallet out of my wallet. It was the last bit of my money. I wanted to get some groceries." Blah blah blah, and then they like killed some knives, this and that. So I went outside, and the cops came up and they're like, "Well, what house are you living on? You're on drugs?" I'm like, "No, I haven't been doing drugs." They're like, so we walked me up to the house and they're like, well, so they ripped up the bill of sale. They took all my phone numbers, everything I owned, my personal prized possessions, and they stole every bit of it. The cops let them walk free. They're like, well, just don't come back on the street no more. They didn't believe me that I just had my sister send me money. So then, and there's proof, within that month, I've been in what store I went into, how much money I spent. I mean, I wasn't lying. The cops, I told them, and told the cops that. You can go and investigate. Something, you know, my sister just wired me money, and the witness lady was in there, because 3 of the guys went in there with me, and they're like, really pushy. So then, to where I went up the road, and I ended up getting beat, thrown out on the ground, maced by some street kids, to where I'm, you know, one after another, it just happened, and then I finally find my way back to the place where I was just staying for a couple of days, which was my stepbrother, and he was still being mean. It was 5 or 10 minutes till wrestling, so I walked up. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go walk it off. It's nighttime, and anyway, he thought that I was high because I was all strung out after, you know, sleeping on the street for a couple days, getting junked, all my money, everything. He thought that I was high. I wasn't. I was just strung out because I slept on the street, and I usually don't sleep on the street. You know. And so it was kind of hard. It was a little bit cold when I first got down here to Portland. So then I walk up to the bar that night, and some guy was coming on to me really strong, really dramatic. I'm like, geez, you know, when does it stop? And so some homeless people were asking about some clothes, and I had a bag of clothes, so I folded all my clothes up looking for them. They didn't come back, so I set them right in the area where I seen them, and I hung my best shirt on the fence so they'd find them if they were to walk back in that area. And then I went to take my shirt off, walked across the bar to ask for a glass of water, and tell a lady about my money getting stolen, this and that, and everything else, to where I was watching the wrestling show, and someone lightly grabbed my hand. I was like, huh? So I was paying attention to the wrestling show, just kind of sidetracked, and turned around to see who it was, because they grabbed my hand lightly and let go of it. And I had little as 2 words. I don't know exactly the 2 words I said, but the guy in the back said, "Is this an arrest?" And I'm like, wait a minute, I've had a brain injury easy. And then they grabbed me really forcefully, and there was a metal chair. The only thing I did to protect myself was my eye, because I was aiming straight for the metal chair. The only thing I did is move my body to the left, so my right eye didn't get taken out, and then I just didn't do anything. But it happened so fast, I didn't resist arrest. I didn't even do anything wrong. I was watching the wrestling show and asking for a glass of water. I was sober. I didn't have nothing in my system. I didn't know what the deal was going on, but the wild allegations came up saying I was in the store grabbing people's drinks, this and that, and I was like, I went back to ask for the camera, and they're like, well, someone said we had to erase it. But how can someone erase the camera? I mean, it's ridiculous. I didn't go in there and grab anybody's drink that's full of it. You know, so I don't know who's coming up with these lies and this and that. Someone gave me a ride back to the scene of the crime, and I asked about, and the lady said, oh, I asked you, I was seeing you taking your shirt off, and some people got concerned about it, and I was just looking out for you because people down here are really mean. They take things wrongly.